Ubuntu and critical thinking, a synergistic approach. What if the secret to truly sharp critical thinking isn't just logic but empathy? It's not a question many of us in the analytic world have asked ourselves. We're told from a young age that critical thinking is about skepticism, evidence, rigorous mental discipline, the lone mind, stoic and rational, cutting past bias and muddle. The classic image is almost solitary. The thinker, alone at the desk, logic as their compass. But what if this is all just half the picture? Step back for a moment. Imagine a philosophy that starts not from the boundaries between people, but the spaces that connect them. A worldview that insists, from the very first breath, that our lives are tangled up together. That who I am only makes sense because of who you are. That's the heart of Ubuntu, a Southern African concept often translated as, I am because we are. And while it's sometimes dismissed in the West as soft and sentimental, Ubuntu, when taken seriously, might just be the missing ingredient for critical thinking in a world marked by global complexity, culture clashes, and big stakes. It sounds a little counterintuitive, doesn't it? We tend to draw a line between empathy and analysis, as if to feel with others and to think carefully are competing instincts. One emotional, the other rational. But look closer, and you start to see that empathy is actually the engine that can drive our thinking further, especially now. The world's gotten smaller. Information, misinformation, and conflicting values ping-pong across borders, and the solutions to our problems, climate change, social justice, global health, require a mind that can hold more perspectives, more stories, and more nuance. This is where Ubuntu's radical reimagining of the self kicks in. It demands that we look outward, that we see each person's dignity as tied to our own, and it invites us to check our blind spots, not just because it's kind, but because it's essential to understanding the real shape of the challenges we face. Critical thinking in the traditional sense is about questioning assumptions. Ubuntu adds, whose assumptions? Who's left out of the frame? What voices are missing from the solution? In practice, Ubuntu doesn't mean abandoning rigor or skepticism. Far from it. It means strengthening them by working collectively, by inviting more voices to the table, and by refusing to flatten disagreement into simple binaries. In an Ubuntu-informed discussion, the myth of the lone genius breaks down. The best ideas don't just come from individuals, but from networks, debates, and sometimes uncomfortable encounters with difference. That discomfort is actually where the sharpest thinking starts. When we're willing to see ourselves in the other, to recognize that the boundaries of my perspective are more porous, more up for revision than our egos like to admit. So, what does this look like in real life? In a team trying to solve a complex problem, Ubuntu means slowing down and listening, refusing to dismiss the quietest voice, and valuing harmony but not as avoidance, instead as a way to get back to the common ground that makes bold solutions possible. For an individual thinker, it's about seeing every argument, every situation, through the lens of collective impact. Not, is this logically sound for me? But, how does this idea help us? And, what am I not seeing because I'm standing in my particular shoes? In a world where clarity feels in short supply, the Ubuntu approach doesn't just make us kinder citizens. It makes us sharper thinkers, more rigorous, more open, and more equipped to untangle the issues that affect us all. Empathy doesn't mean dissolving individuality. It means amplifying it in service of something bigger. So, the next time you're facing a thorny problem, try this mental flip. Think like a skeptic, but care like you're part of a vast interconnected web. Because you are. And that just might be the lens the 21st century needs most. If you have watched up to this point, please hit the subscription button. Thank you very much.